Sir, हम लोग തുടങ്ങിയാലോ സാറേ?
Okay. Start.
Madam, we can start now.
Sure.
Okay. Hi. Hello, good morning. Namaskara. Respected Principal Dr. K. Aziz sir, today's invited speaker Dr. Sheenu Jain, Young Management Scholar, IIM Calcutta, winner of World Bank CS Challenge 2021, the convener of PSMO IIC, Dr. Srisha CH, other committee members, my dear students and other participants. It's my privilege and pleasure to welcome all of you to the 6th day of the short course on entrepreneurship. This course is organized with the support of Ministry of Education, Innovation Cell and ICTE. We are delighted to have you with us to participate in the 6th day of this course. Thank you all for joining us. Previous lectures were about entrepreneurship and intellectual property rights. Today's resource person, Dr. Sheenu Jain, will talk about idea generation and opportunity evaluation. Many business or innovative ideas may blink in everyone's head, but finding the opportunity in each idea is very important if you are interested to make money out of it. I hope you will get some insights about making money out of your idea from today's lecture. Dr. Sheenu Jain is an associate professor, marketing chair, Center for Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship, CIIE, and chair, marketing and communications at IIHMR University, Rajasthan. She has worked for a short period with Jaipur Rugs as assistant general manager, marketing and communication. Prior to this, she was a faculty in the area of marketing and entrepreneurship at Jaipuria Institute of Management, Jaipur. She has over 15 years of experience in academia, consulting, startup training, digital marketing, and student mentorship. She has earned her PhD in green marketing. She holds a multidisciplinary master's degree in MBA, MCOM, and MSc Applied Psychology. She headed the Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation as a young management scholar at IIM Calcutta for about 3 years. She is also an ISP Hyderabad certified entrepreneurship educator. She has been selected by Goldman Sachs and London Business School among 10,000 women entrepreneur programs. She is also a certified master trainer from the Wadhwani Foundation on Entrepreneurship Education and Marketing Tools. She has closely worked with the Ministry of Northeast, CII, and Indian Chamber of Commerce on various joint programs. She has to her credit more than 30 papers published in various refereed journals of national and international repute. She has successfully organized various national and international conferences. She has conducted various management development programs in different spheres of sales, leadership, negotiation skills, marketing management, and served as a resource person for various in-house training programs of corporates. She has attended many national and international conferences, seminars, workshops. She has represented on various national international forums like AdAsia, CII Partnership Summit, Roundtables. She has to her credit for edited books. She has enjoyed numerous positions of responsibility in various capacities. She is the recipient of numerous meritorious awards throughout her academic career. She is also the recipient of Young Achiever Award, various Samaj Kaurav Awards. A competent writer, works as a freelancer with Times of India, Tribune, The Statesman, DN Academy, etc. She has recently released a book on demonetization and digital economy. Her area of interest includes understanding the consumer mind, green marketing, digital marketing, retail management, and entrepreneurship. I welcome Dr. Sheenu Jain to this program. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a big
Uh,
introduction. I'm really humbled to be here, and thank you so much for extending me invite. And it's like connecting North India to South India. I was so excited to be part of this session today,
Thank you, ma'am.
I mean, thanks a lot for extending invitation and such a warm introduction.
Thank you, ma'am. The success behind all the programs of PRICE and IAC, PSMO, because of the support from the principal and of the convener, Dr. Srisha CH, and the support of other committee members of IIC. I welcome Dr. Srisha CH, committee member, Dr. Shafiq, Dr. Samira, Mohammed Shafi, Samir Pungadan, Dr. Abdul Rashid, Lieutenant Nisamuddin to this program. Without the audience, the program is nothing. So I welcome you all. I wish you all a productive and successful evening. With great honor, I would like to welcome Dr. K. Aziza for the presidential address and to inaugurate today's session. Welcome you, sir.
Okay. Audible, Karim?
Yes.
Okay, most respected Dr. Sheenu Jain, young management scholar, IIM Calcutta, and also associate professor at University of Jaipur, Rajasthan. Dear Dr. Abdul Karim, Dr. Srisha, and all faculty members connected with the IIC of PSMO College, and dear members of Entrepreneurship Cell. Dr. Karim has already given a detailed data about our resource person for today's webinar. Dear students, you understand, ma'am is an educator. She is educating at various level for developing entrepreneurs from institutions. That is the reason why the IIC under PRICE, PSMO College, Research, Innovation and Incubation Center for Entrepreneurship, constantly making effort to develop a few entrepreneurs from this college. For the information of our resource person, ma'am, this is an aided college affiliated under University of Calicut. The college is stepping into its 54th year of existence.
Very nice.
A college where 10 undergraduate programs and 8 postgraduate programs are offering. 5 departments are recognized as research centers under University of Calicut. An old college under University of Calicut. Then presently, we are making much effort to develop, to give the idea of entrepreneurship among our students. That is the reason why we organized a course on entrepreneurship development. 6th lecture today we are giving. As you mentioned, this is really connecting the Rajasthan to the southernmost state of India. Okay, connecting North India with the South. From principal side, I welcome you once again for this program, and also, ma'am, in future also we need your expertise for making a few entrepreneurs from this college.
I'll be more than happy to be part of it, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much for your willingness to be with us. With these words, I am very happy to inaugurate today's webinar on idea generation and opportunity evaluation. Okay, with these words I conclude, because many are waiting outside my room for admission. Today is we set apart for admission program at PSMO College undergraduate program. Okay, hence I will leave immediately after my presentation. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Karim.
Thank you, sir. Then mic is over to Dr. Sheenu, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Are you able to see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Clear, clear. Okay.
All right. So, good morning, everyone. Today's topic is very, very interesting, where we're going to talk about moving from an idea to opportunity. But this $1,000,000 question is, what is an idea? Anyone would like to answer? What is idea? Don't talk about the idea mobile phone advertisement. I'm talking about idea, IDEA. What's idea? Anyone who would like to answer? If you'll talk, you'll interact, you'll enjoy the next couple of minutes that we're going to share together.
Hello,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes. Please go
Idea
ahead.
is idea means a thought to be said.
Idea means
A piece of thought.
a piece of thought. Okay. Anyone else? You're right. Anybody else? Okay. Let me put it this way. Can idea generation be taught? Can I really teach you that, this is the idea and please go ahead and do a business with it? Can this really be taught at any point of time? Do you really think so?
No,
No? Then why?
that's something. It's coming from our mind. Something new, new thoughts coming from our mind. New.
How new thoughts come into your mind? Is there any magic formula? Or, or you eat something and, you get this idea. And that's how you feel. These are the magical words and I need to work on it and I can create business out of it. Does that happen this way?
No.
No. Then how do you get these thoughts? How do you get these thoughts? Come on, think. Use your
By
brain.
thinking.
By
Thinking.
by thinking. But even for thinking, you need something, right?
Yes.
वो कहाँ से आता है? Where do you get that from?
By our mind.
By
Our mind.
okay. Okay. I'm showing you a couple of pictures. We'll not do this exercise, but I'm just giving you a food for thoughts. You look at this picture. When you look at this picture, what comes to your mind? Anyone?
We have to water the ground for the train.
Okay. It looks like a deserted, barren land, right? There's no water.
Yes. So we have to bring water there.
You have to bring water there. So that looks like a problem. That's like a problem that it's a barren land and there is a scarcity of water.
Yes.
Right? When you see that, what comes to your mind? Okay, can I do something about bringing water to this land? Right? You saw a problem and an idea popped in your mind. Okay, when you see this picture, what comes to your mind? The first thought? Come on, guys, everyone, please speak.
It's a desert area.
So you see a problem of begging here?
Yes.
Right? And you will think about, okay, can I do something about it? Can we help this gentleman? Can we stop this? There could be so many thoughts that can come to your mind. What do you see here? What is this lady doing?
She's picking up the waste.
She's picking up the waste. She's scanning the waste and figuring out something out of it. But then that reminds you of a problem about waste management.
Yes.
When you look at this picture, it gives you an idea. Okay, there is a problem of waste management. Can I do something about it? Right? Again, here you look at it. There's a lot of garbage around. Here, what do you see?
Fog.
We see fog, right? Fog can lead to a lot of problem. You can't drive. There isn't traffic issues. You can't see what's happening. So all these images are actually talking about some problems to you. When you look at these images, like you look at this,
Traffic.
huge traffic, right? Waste of time. How do I reach at any destination on time? Can I do something to change the traffic? So many thoughts will come to your mind when you look at these pictures. Why I'm showing you all these pictures? Any reason
To
that
solve this problem by ideas.
to solve these problems by your ideas? So I go back to the original question that I posted. I said, where do you get your ideas from?
When we see some problems.
Yes. And where do you see problems?
When we watch the problems, when we see the
Idea we
problems.
get from our surroundings, from our environment.
Absolutely. You see problems in and around you, right? Your internal environment, your external environment, you come across variety of problems. And when you see these problems, something gets cropped up in your mind. And that is the idea. So when we talk about a business idea, of course, it has to solve some pain point. It has to come up with a solution to a peculiar problem, right? Which could be, so that is why many times we think about, I want to do something, but I don't know what should I do. That's an obvious question that I get it from students most of the time. I want to start something. I want to do a business, but I don't know what I want to do, right? So you will always have a dearth of ideas, but those dearth of ideas can be taken care by your internal and external environment, where you see a lot of things happening around you. And when you see those things happening around you, it gives you a thought. Can I do something about it? Is this a real pressing challenge or a problem? Can I solve it with my business idea? That's how the ideas get generated. So we're not doing this, but another important point that you need to understand, that all ideas need not be absolutely new idea. Not every idea is a new to the world idea. When we generate idea, it's not invention most of the time, right? Invention is something that we are doing it for the first time. But the business ideas may not be absolutely new. Say, for example, I'm sure in your city, near to the hospital, there would be hospital road and there might be 20 medical stores. Out of those 20 medical stores, and you want to start another one, right? But you're going to create some difference with your medical store, like you're providing some different facilities to the people who are coming to your store, right? So it's not, opening a medical store is not really a new idea, right? But it's a business idea, and you have some set thoughts at the back of your mind. So idea generation is about quantity and not quality. So no idea is silly idea. Whenever you think about a problem, come up with lots and lots of solution to that problem. Say, for example, I've shown you some 8, 10 images. With every image, you can find out some 30, 40, 50 business ideas. Don't think that this is a silly idea, this will not work. When you're generating or looking at the very first stage of generating ideas, don't filter them. Let the ideas flow. Keep writing it at one place and just let it be. Don't filter them in the first go. पूरा market explore करने दो. पूरे अपने thought process, let the entire thought process come around and be there on a piece of paper. Right? So other people see things and say why, but I dream things that never were and say why not. That's what the George Bernard Shaw used to say about idea generation. So the first step to any venture creation is the business idea, and it is required at all stages of venture. You know, your idea should not die. At every stage of venture, you will keep on evolving your idea. So it's very, very important stage of any business. When we talk about business idea, it arises in response to the opportunities in the environment. It is about utilizing your skills. Say, for example, today we all know that there's so much scope for digital marketing. Can I learn digital marketing and I start solving problem of people using digital marketing, right? So to utilize the skill, that could be a business idea. To use the locally available raw materials. Say, for example, I belong to Rajasthan. Rajasthan is very popular for a cloth called bandhej, right? It's a local available material. Can I do something about it and create products out of it? Because it's very popular out here, right? Or to capitalize on the changing economics and fiscal policies, right? There's so much change happening in the business environment. Can I do something about it? Like you have seen that with demonetization, a lot of digitization of payment has started taking place. Now you can see how many new payment gateways have come up, right? Because everybody took an advantage, like Paytm, Google Pay, Bharat. You know, there are so many that you might be using it. So can I do something about it? With any change in the environment, can I try and capitalize on it? Or using any special technology? Today, everybody is using data analytics, AI, 3D technology, you know, and create business out of it. It's not of a world of customization of products today. To produce a product which is the demand but not freely available in the market, can I do something? Can I create something which is not easily readily available? Say, for example, today you can see there's a lot of demand for electric vehicles in the market. You know, a lot of people are going for it. Or during the COVID times, we saw there was a huge demand for oxygen oximeters. There was a huge demand for oxygen concentrators. You know, these products have got huge demand into the market. Or can I solve a current problem existing in the market? It could be related to anything. Can I do something about it? You know, your business idea can revolve around that. You can also do the similar exercise using newspaper. Just go back today and see the newspaper of today. Look at the newspaper, read a news item, and you'll find out, you know, can I think about some business idea looking at the various news pieces in the business newspaper? And you'll realize that, yes, you can, because newspaper is a current happening around you. And that gives you a thought, I can also think about doing this. So you may give it a try. Again, why a newspaper exercise? It's very simple. It gives you environment triggers, right? It gives you what are the new opportunities going on. Say, for example, if this morning I read in newspaper, the government is trying to ban plastic in the city. Now, I am the one who manufactured jute bags or cotton bags. It's an opportunity for me because suddenly there's a ban of plastic in the market. So there will be demand. People need to carry their stuff. How will they carry it? Can I create jute bags, paper bags, you know, other kind of stuff? That becomes it. So one simple change in the government policy can trigger the opportunity for my business. So I need to keep my eyes open and see, can I do something about it? Newspaper is one such source that reflect current trends, real world challenges, opportunities, whatever is going on. And it's very easily accessible, right? And it leads to a lot of creative thinking. There could be a lot of other sources of new ideas, you know, current trends means political, economical, social, technological. Follow these trends, you know. Say for example, government has introduced during COVID time, and telemedicine become very popular. A lot of people have used technology and started offering their medicine services online. Doctors started giving services online, right? So just see, politically, economically, socially, technologically, what are the changes happening into the external environment, and can I think about doing a business out of it? Customer pain points. What is the problem? Like you can see, can you imagine I being sitting here in Jaipur and delivering a lecture to you out there? It was only possible because of my, access to Google Meet. So technology has sorted out this problem. No cost involved. People sitting into the remote corners of country and getting connected and talking to each other, right? You may get some new ideas based on your past experience. Say for example, I've been working into a hospital and I think about starting my own hospital, because I've worked in a hospital and I know, I can create start my own hospital. It's also sometimes about your hobbies and interests. Say for example, you love cooking, right? So based on your cooking experience, you become a chef and you start your own restaurant. It could be your strengths and abilities. Say for example, you got amazing skills into financial market, or digital marketing, or trying some account software, whatever. So you got your strengths and abilities into it, and you think about creating a business out of it. Sometimes your friends and family suggest you something. Logistics has become a big opportunity in terms of reaching out. You can see now what Swiggy, Zomato, lot of delivery channels have been opened up. Look at Amazon and Flipkart, how much business they are giving it to people. So you may think about becoming a distribution channel partner. Travel gives you a lot of ideas. When you travel to the different parts of country and abroad, it gives you a lot of idea about the different culture, economies, and how people are behaving, and based on those changes. Books and magazines, research organizations, internet are another sources of generating ideas. And also change is a source of opportunity. So we all have migrated from, let's say, offline classes to online classes. Just imagine a class 1 or class 2 kid doing their schooling online and learned the technology so well, where they had no idea how to even use a laptop. But now they do it so well. So it was a change, and many times this change becomes a source of opportunity for you. Change brings disruption. Change brings lot of new things to your life. So change is very, very important. Just look at it, how entrepreneurs have exploited change. Japanese car manufacturers have come up with wonderful cars in 1973, long back, while there was only Ford, which was popular before that. Microsoft, the computers and laptops have brought change to our life with their, the Microsoft Office and its platform. Amazon and Dell has changed everybody's life. Infosys, again, IT and technology. So when we were talking about changes, the environment that we talk about, there are demographic changes happening. Look at age group change. Look at a lot of people are now working class. Into working class also, even into the family system, you'll find there are, single income, double income, no kids family. There are, both the parents are working and they got kids, they are staying separate. There are a variety of things that's happening. So even if I talk about, say, working women coming into it, there is a lot of demand for products related to working women into the market. So a lot of demographic changes happening. India got very high demographic dividend in this country. Economic changes, you keep hearing about all the changes that's happening into the market. A very small thing, like there is change in the rates of banking by RBI, or certain changes which affects the entire business scenario. Social cultural changes, the value systems, the festivals, all these things also brought around a lot of change around. Technological things we have already talked about. Political, legal environment. This is something you need to keep that in mind. I'm not going into the detailing of this, but I can share the presentation, you can have a look around it. If you look at the existing entrepreneurs, there are only 3 to 4% of the ideas are truly new, novel, and innovative. Rest 96% are either enhancement, extensions, or specialization. Hardly 3 to 4% ideas are like completely new idea. When we talk about enhancement, means it's improvement or any changes in the features of the product, like made it more cheaper or a better or smaller or faster or more user friendly, things like that. Or it is like extensions to existing features, or it is creating a very, very specialized product, which is very niche. Let's look at the examples also. So when I say about enhancement, you see a circle here and then there is an addition to it. Extension, existing product, and you make more changes to it. And specialization means a very, very specific product which has been launched here. Let's look at few examples. So enhancement, we had DOS as an operating system or Unix as an operating system long back, and now we have migrated to Windows, and even we talk about iOS today. Mechanical watch to quartz watch to smartwatches today. Modern to ADSL modems, or an ordinary TV to flat screen and LED and LCD and ultra LED, desktop to laptop to tablets, or propeller engines to jet engines. So it's about enhancement. You made a very significant change into the existing products, right? So most industrial innovations that we talk about are actually the example of enhancement. When we talk about extension, I mean, just look at the toothpaste today. Toothbrush with a built-in toothpaste, or we are getting electric toothbrushes today. We get a toothbrush with a tongue cleaner inside it. So many things coming in. Pen coming with a torchlight. Pen is coming with a stylus which you can use on mobile phone. Or mobile is a classic example. I mean, just look at a mobile phone. Your earlier phone was only about making a phone call. But today with your phone, you use it for camera, you use it for video recording, you use it for playing, you use it for scanning, watching movies, connecting to the people, video recording, sound recording, listening to music, everything. Your phone has actually replaced so many products, right? Which you don't have to buy anymore. Your phone can do the job for all that together. Memory sticks with the MP3 players, wristwatch with a calculator. Even wristwatch today is coming with a payment option, right? So you can make a payment, you can do a phone calls using your wristwatch. Multiplexes, daycare centers with tuitions, Swiss Army knife, which has multiple knife options into it. So it's all about extensions. And when we talk about specialization, so we're talking about very specific. Let's say we got a low cost airline today, Indigo, or your boutique financial advisory services, or a very super specialty hospital, or a mother and child care hospital, finishing schools after school, and some agencies. Even today we have wedding planners for rich people. Only they do wedding plan and matchmaking only for rich people. This is like heights of specialization. So it's about enhancement, extension, or specialization. That's how our idea gets nurtured. There are also service-based opportunities which is available today, like schools, restaurants, travel agencies, pet shops, bookshops, gyms, weight loss clinics, oxygen bars. These are few service-related opportunities which can also be explored. Some of the techniques for generating idea is, you can do brainstorming. As I said, observe what's happening around you. Brainstorm means you talk to a group of people and build on their ideas. You have any question? Okay, or you can do a preliminary research where you do that research and that will help you in terms of figuring out what works, what doesn't work. You can also create mind maps. Mind maps is about thinking, okay, I have to go to school, to a party today. If I have to go to a party, where should I go? What should I wear? What time I should leave? If what should I wear? So should I wear formal versus informal? Informals, which color should I wear? So, you do a complete mind mapping. When you do such kind of mind mapping, that helps you to, work on your idea. So that could be one other way of doing it. This is another example of mind map. Now the question is every idea an opportunity or no? Do you think every idea is an opportunity? Okay, let me show you these pictures. There were inventions like broadband, smartphones, and MRI machines, right? They were too good in their own times. They have changed our life. Just imagine a life without a Wi-Fi connection today, or a smartphone, or even for that matter, MRI machine. They were some of the good inventions of their time, and that led to a lot of business opportunity. But at the same time, there were products like Segway or Baby Cage or Phone Fingers. They were amazing inventions, but they could not scaled it themselves, and they haven't become such popular products. People did not consider them as such a big business opportunity. So it's not that ideas may be good, but they may not sometimes be a business opportunity. We need to explore and evaluate them onto certain parameters. Just look at it, how the phone has been evolved. We used to have this kind of phones from these telephone phones, then this kind of phones, cordless phones, pagers, and pagers to smartphones, how the journey has been evolved. So ideas evolve over a period of time. They just do not stick to one place and the product become obsolete. The product become obsolete, older, new things get added on, and it again becomes popular into the market. So fewer than 1% of the business plan submitted to VCs get funded just because people do not identify the right ideas. They do not work on them. So that's the reason they fail most of the time. When we talk about idea to opportunity, there are 4 sets of influencer. One is, are you customizing your idea, requiring to the customer's requirement? Do you have an appropriate supplier of the product? Who are the stakeholders, and what are the facilities that you're going to provide? If these things are in place, your idea can get flourished into the market. Right? There are 5 question rubric that you need to see before evaluating any idea as a business opportunity. What important customer problems can you solve? How are you going to do it? How many customers are willing to buy from you? Why can only you provide the solution? And how can you defend against others? These are the 5 questions. Whenever you have your ideas in place, just try and take that idea and answer these 5 sets of questions, and you'll get most of your answers. The questions found very silly in general, but when you try to go deeper inside, you'll realize, oh God, I didn't thought this way. Let's say, if you look at the question number 1, what important customer problem can you solve? How painful is the problem? How valuable is your solution? Say, for example, I wear white shirts every day. And if I wear white shirt every day, I need a very clean white shirt, very well, done laundry and iron. That's what I'm looking for. So anybody who gives me very quickly and give me a clean, plain white shirt every day with a low-cost solution, I'll be happy to do it, because I find it very difficult to do it on my own at home. But then you have to figure out how many such customers are there who are interested in this. And can I give them the quick solution that they'll be interested in picking my product? Remember, you need to change somebody's behavior to buy your product also at times. It's not that everybody will pick up your product on first go. Like, look at what Amazon has did to us. All of us have started shopping online, right from a needle to buying a laptop. We are doing it online. Even jewelry, for that matter, we are buying online. Question number 2 is about how are you going to do it? What's going to be a business model? Means you should have an absolute clarity about your product or service that you're going to offer. How will you reach out to the customers? What would be your location? Any technology or innovation are you going to use? How's going to be your service? And are you going to create a brand out of it? You should have answer to all these questions when you're evaluating your ideas. The third question is, how many customers are there that are willing to buy from you? Most of the time we try to reach to friends, family, and father-in-law to buy our initial product, which is not a good idea. You should actually think about how I'm going to get my first 100 customers. How many customers are there? Means, is there a huge market size that I can capture? Say, for example, you want to start an event management company in Coimbatore. And so you will first see for only, let's say, for birthday parties. Okay. So how many birthday parties generally take place in Coimbatore? How much people are willing to invest? How many clients do I need every year? Right? Let's say you identified everything that, okay, there are like 500 birthday parties happens in Coimbatore every year. Out of 500, let's say I have to target to 10%. If I target to 50, I can get at least 10 birthday parties in a year. That's how you need to look at it. How much is the market size? And then out of that, how much I can really reach out? How many will buy from me? Who will be my first customers, right? And 100 customers. You should think about it based on those facts. The next question is, why can only you provide the solution? Means everybody think that I'm unique, but you need to explain it to your audience that why are you unique? Why should they buy from you and not from somebody else? Because it's not that you got something which is absolutely different and you are the only one who is offering that product in the market. So do you have something to offer very unique to your customer? Say, for example, there's a restaurant in Udaipur here in Rajasthan, where they charge you not based on the food that you order. They charge you based on the time you spend in the restaurant. Say for example, if you're vegetarian, they'll charge you 3 rupees per minute for vegetarian food and 5 rupees per minute for non-vegetarian food. So say, for example, you spend 2 hours in the restaurant. All that you have to pay is 2 hours is like 120 minutes. So 120 into 3, 360 rupees. However, how much food you order doesn't matter, right? That's how they've used a very different way, differential pricing strategy. Right? Or you can see these days, a lot of book exhibitions being organized and they give you 3 boxes. So boxes 900 rupees, 1100 rupees, 1500 rupees, 3 categories of boxes. Now, if you buy a 900 rupees box, you take a 900 rupees box, roam around into the hall. How many books you want, just pick it and put it, but it should fit in the box. Once it is full, it is full. So you may buy 2 books, you may buy 20 books, they don't bother. But you can buy the books up to the size of the box. Right? So brands and people try to do things very differently. So how you are unique? What do you provide that nobody else can provide? And finally, how can you defend against others? Do you have a location advantage? Like when Domino's says 30 minutes delivery, that was their USP. If in 30 minutes they'll not deliver the pizza, they'll refund you the money, right? So location, some brands choose amazing locations that they're very easily accessible to people. Brand, we do buy product for brand, right? Patents and copyrights play a role. Sometimes it's about service, taste, or fashion. It could be about anything. So initially, to begin with, generating ideas, look around you, and then evaluate them at least on these 5 question framework, right? It will really help you because customer exists, but we are not able to sometimes identify them. People are willing to purchase the product, but we are not actually solving or satisfying their needs or problems. We need to do something that makes us differentiable from the competitors in the market, right? That's very, very important. And when you're evaluating your ideas, please Let the ideas flow. Don't be in love with just one particular idea. Many times it happens, the students get married to their ideas and they think this is one of the best ideas that they have in the market. No, we don't do that. Let go of an idea if required, and also don't shy away from sharing your idea. A lot of students come to me saying that, ma'am, we want to meet you personally, we don't want to share it in front of others, because people think that if I'll share my idea with others, they'll copy and I'll not be able to execute it. But guys, believe me, the beauty lies in execution, not just in talking about your idea. Because what if today you're not sharing it, the moment you launch it, somebody else will be able to figure it out. So don't bother about that. Bother more about how you're going to execute that idea into the market. That's primarily very, very important. Okay, let me show you a video. Okay. Can you see the video screen?
Madam, we can see only your Gmail window.
Okay, just a second, sir. Can you see it now?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm
I'm
Pranoti.
Pranoti.
My team
My
and
team and
I
I
are
are
very
very
happy
happy
and
and
excited
excited
to
to
share
share
Rotimatic with
Rotimatic
you
with
all
you
for the
all for the
first
first
time.
time.
The journey
The
has
journey
been
has been
long and
long
many
and
of you
many
have
of you have
waited
waited
patiently.
patiently.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much for
that.
that.
For
For
centuries,
centuries,
women have
women
been
have been
making
making
rotis by
rotis by
hand,
hand.
and
And
even in
even in
today's
today's
technologically
technologically
advanced
advanced
world,
world,
we have
we
to
have to
come
come
home
home
after a
after a
long day
long
of
day of
work
work
to the
to the
tedium
tedium
of
of
roti
roti
making.
making.
I've been
I've
through
been
it
through it
and I've
and
seen
I've
so
seen
many
so many
friends go
friends
through
go
it,
through it,
how we
how we
have
have
to
to
and
and
want to
want
make
to make
hot and
hot and
fresh
fresh
rotis for
rotis
our
for our
loved
loved
ones,
ones,
especially for
especially
the
for the
health
health
aspect of
aspect
it,
of it,
because
because
whole wheat
whole wheat
roti
roti
is
is
healthier than
healthier than
any
any
alternative.
alternative.
With the
With the
demanding
demanding
jobs, I
jobs, I
often
often
found
found
that I did
that I
not
did not
have the
have the
energy to
energy to
make them.
make them.
And
And
that's when
that's
I
when I
really
really
missed my
missed my
mom's
mom's
garam
garam
garam ghar
garam
ki
ghar ki
roti.
roti.
When we
When
set
we
out
set
to
out
build
to build
Rotimatic,
Rotimatic,
honestly
honestly
speaking, it
speaking, it
felt like
felt
an
like an
impossible
impossible
feat.
feat.
But the
But
faith
the
was
faith was
always
always
intact.
intact.
And
And
since
since
then, we've
then,
come a
we've come a
long way.
long way.
We're
We're
working very
working very
hard on the
hard on the
final
final
phases of
phases of
Rotimatic as
Rotimatic
we
as
take
we
it through
take it through
manufacturing
manufacturing
and
and
user
user
testing.
testing.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for your
much for your
support and
support and
encouragement so
encouragement
far,
so far.
and we
And
hope
we
you will
hope you will
continue to
continue
do
to
so.
do so.
Do leave us
Do
your
leave us your
contact
contact
details,
details
and we will
and we
keep you
will keep you
updated with the
updated with the
progress.
progress.
And also
And
love
also
to
love
hear
to
your
hear your
roti
roti
stories.
stories.
With
With
Rotimatic, we
Rotimatic, we
hope you
hope
can
you can
finally get
finally
rid
get
of the
rid of the
dullard.
dullard.
Yes. What have you seen? Anyone would like to comment? The video talked about a peculiar problem, especially people who eat chapatis and rotis in North India. So there was a huge trouble, and she was a working woman. So she realized that there is a problem that they're not able to generate. Make it and cook it when they come back home. So they created a very well technology-oriented product, and it becomes a hit in terms of, because within a 1 minute of time it is giving you exactly making roti simply by using technology. So it was very, but interestingly, do you know what is the price of the product? Please go ahead, speak up. Someone was raising hand, please speak up. So any guesses for the price of the product?
More than 3,000, madam.
No. When they launched this product into Indian market, they made it such a technology ingrained product. When they launched it in Indian market, the price was 1,20,000 and 15,000. No, 1,20,000. But just imagine, amazing product. But are you really willing to pay 1,20,000 for making chapatis? So
No,
product,
madam. No, no.
so product was a miserable failure into Indian market. But then she made it and she was quite excited about it. And she was like, this is an amazing product. All they did, guys, was change the market. They they changed their target segment from Indian market to international market. So they realized there are a lot of NRIs who are living in US and UK and other countries who are interested in such kind of product, because they don't get an help there, and they want to do all that Indian cooking. So they increase the price, change the customer segment, and the product become hit. It's even available on Amazon today. Now they're selling it for at least 2.5 to 3 lakhs Indian rupees. So many times it happens. You had an idea, you converted that idea into a business opportunity, but you realize you did everything right, but you didn't understand the sentiments of the people. So, but then they were sure that the product is right. It's just that they are reaching out to the wrong target segment. They changed the target segment and it worked absolutely well into their favor. So that's what is generating idea to, taking a journey from evaluating an opportunity. But take your idea through a asset test, look at the market, team, and industry before you think about embarking on the journey of working on your ideas. That's all in nutshell I wanted to talk to you today. But if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. I hope in capsule I was able to, give you an idea about what it is all about. If you have questions, please ask.
Madam, you have started with a thought-provoking question. What is an idea? Really exciting and stimulating one. Your presentation was not a one-sided presentation. You interacted and helped to think with you. Madam, I would like to ask a question.
Please go ahead.
Is it important to form a team to develop an idea, or keeping it with the same person? Or if we form a team, then how can we protect the idea if it is shared within a team?
If you look at today's startup journey, definitely you should have a team, because individually, 1 + 1 becomes 11. So when you are working collectively with the people, always it help you in terms of working towards the progression. So any startup journey that you think about it today has to go through, embarking on the journey of idea, having a people right on board. Now, of course, there is always a challenge that one is finding the right-minded people, and second, how do I protect my idea? Because I already got my team, shared everything, every thought process with this individual. Now, how will my idea be protected? So, I think finding your co-founder or the people who are going to work with you is also a matter of lot of trust and understanding. You should see that before you choose your teammates or partner, you have a same mindset, approach towards things, complementary skills. What you have, he doesn't have. What he has, you doesn't have. So it matches the right chemistry of the individual. Don't bother about whether they'll take things away from you. But as I said again, the beauty lies in execution. What you have in you, nobody can steal it from you except that idea and the thought. So don't bother about that, but carefully choose your partner. Getting a co-founder for business is also like getting a partner for a marriage. The right chemistry will help you have a beautiful life ahead. So the way you choose your life partner, similarly, you should also choose your co-founder for your team. But team is required because team increases your propensity to, improve. As an individual, it's always better to have a team.
Thank you, madam. And now the session is open to the question from audience. I welcome. Is there any question from audience? You can directly ask the speaker. Any questions?
Don't hesitate in asking questions.
Muhammad PV, do you like to ask a question?
No worries. I think just think about it, especially now when you've chosen this as a field and you're interested into it. Just keep on observing things around you. Keep thinking about it. You never know what clicks you one day, and you want to embark on that journey of life. So thank you so much, sir. I mean, I had really good time speaking to each one of you, and I'm sure I could contribute my bit towards this session.
Madam, we welcome. We need your support in the future and ours also, madam.
I shall be happy to contribute, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Then I welcome Dr. Srisha CH for delivering a vote of thanks. Srisha, madam, are you there?
Most respected resource person Sheenu Jain and IIC Director Dr. Abdul Karim
Srisha,
sir.
madam,
And
we have a
participant-
question. We have a question from the audience.
was really nice, and I especially appreciate the director,
Srisha
IAC,
madam,
BSMO for inviting
Srisha
a
madam,
right
we have a
person.
question.
Hello?
We have a
Yeah?
question.
Am I
We have a
audible?
question from audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes,
Hamna
sir.
Jabin asked a question.
Yeah,
Hamna
okay, sir.
Jabin asked
Okay.
a
Carry
question.
on.
Do most of the ideas come from active idea
Yes.
searching or as a coincidence of trying, solving problems, like looking for problems to solve?
Many times it happens you're not really searching for anything, but you see something happening around you and it gives you a pain. And you feel like that, yes, this is something I want to solve. Um, being an entrepreneur or starting a business journey is not about that somebody is forcing me and I want to do it. I want to do it because it is a zeal that's coming from inside. Now, the next question is, when I have a zeal to do something different, how do I go about it? Because I don't have idea. So yeah, I do look around, I explore that, can I do something about it? Or it happens the other way around also. I see a problem and I feel like, yes, I should solve this problem. So it could be vice versa. It's not that it's always on an active mode and you're searching for it. It could be anyways.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Srisha madam, mic is over to you, madam. Srisha madam, you can continue.
Madam, actually, it's heavily raining here. It was really nice, ma'am. It was really down to earth session and highly interactive too.
Thank you so much.
And we got a lot of idea regarding how to generate idea. And my understanding regarding the idea generation is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Yes, okay. So I think it must be highly useful for the students, those who wish to generate ideas, and we are generally conducting idea based competition also. And most of the students, those who have joined, is really interested with this area. And session was really down to earth. And madam has defined everything from the scratch itself, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Regarding how to take a class by interacting with the students also. More than how we can generate idea, I got an idea that with smiling face, how can we interact with the students and how can we make our class more interesting also, ma'am. It's really interesting, and I especially congratulated Dr. Abdul Karim sir for inviting a right person to discuss this topic. So on behalf of the entire fraternity of PSMO College and on behalf of IIC, I express my sincere gratitude to you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And we expect your wholehearted cooperation in future days also.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
okay. I also, yes, thank you, ma'am. I also express my gratitude to Karim sir for his effort to develop an innovative culture, innovation ecosystem at our college. Thank you, Karim sir. Thank you so much. And I also express my gratitude to all the participants for your patient listening and their interaction with the resource person. I know I hope all of you may utilize the resource person. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.